Make sure I'm
boom, bam. Hey, let me go
muted.
back here. Boom, bam. Welcome to the live. There's a new feature. Look, we've been talking about this a lot. We've been sending a ton of emails about it. This is going to be cool. You guys are going to love it. We're joined by a guest because this is the guest here, Bradford. You are the mastermind behind this whole integration that's happening.
Yeah.
And we're excited. And it's not exactly ready yet, but very, very, very soon we're going to give you a sneak peek. For sure, we'll be ready for the fourth quarter because that is where what happens, Dwight.
Yeah.
We make all the money.
All the money. Yeah, exactly. Fourth quarter is our favorite thing. And why Dwight and I, are hosting this call instead of the always excitable Greg Ryder is that
we're better looking and smarter.
True. Takes a big man to admit when Dwight's right. But the one thing we get more excited about than Greg probably is what we're going to be talking about today, because that's where what happened, right? That's where we made what?
All the money.
Okay, so Brad, give us a 10-second run. 30 seconds. Who are you? Why should people like you? Blah, 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 blah.
Well, there's not too many reasons to like me, but I am a former prototype design engineer out of Huntsville, Alabama. Back in 2017, I was running the fastest growing company in Alabama. We went from me being the only employee to 35 employees in about a week. Probably 50x our revenue over the course of a month. Took a company from doing about $50,000 in revenue over the course of 7 months to doing $980,000 over about 10 days. And this was back in 2016 when things were a little bit easier. But I ended up leaving that company, went off doing my own venture. And so we're in the market. There's a ton of print on demand options out there. So I knew that was going to be a tight space to get into. So we really focus on print on demand type products that require advanced manufacturing. So we're talking about CNC routers, we're talking about fiber optic lasers, we're talking about equipment that costs, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. And so, I saw that there's when I was at the former company, there was a ton of people that wanted to sell our stuff. But it was always such a pain to not only get the products listed, but then tracking all the money back and forth, making their customers feel good about the purchase, because at the time we didn't have any kind of a live preview option. And so, I went through and just kind of said, I identified all the problems that we've ran into and going full steam ahead into this software company, which is My Easy Monogram.
So My Easy Monogram, we're going to talk about that because we're integrating with My Easy Well, so I would even say, what does the integration look like? Because it's like way deeper than we're even, or is this too boring of a question?
Well, no, I mean,
it's the fun part, but it's going to be a major part of the foundational launch part, right?
Yeah, it's a very elaborate integration. We've already got this integration with Shopify. If anybody currently has a Shopify store, they can find us in the Shopify App Store. But essentially, we've got a database of products, and I also want to preface all this by saying, we are, with this integration, we are launching our V2 platform here in about a week to 2 weeks from now. The current situation is, when we launched, we started with metal art. We started with a couple canvas products, personalized manufactured products. And I realized immediately out the gate that the biggest problem with how our software was built is that if anybody wanted to try a new design, they had to email me, and then I had to hand that off to my design team. Then the design team had to communicate back and forth, and it was a big problem for anybody to actually get from concept to reality of selling a product. And so with V2, your merchants are going to be able to create their own designs, that will work with a live preview rendered on the website, so the customer can see exactly, and I'm talking about production file, exactly what they're going to be receiving, and feel good about that purchase. And so, yeah, it's a very elaborate integration, getting all of these things to work together. But I expect the integration will be about a month from now.
That's awesome. But let's put it in simpler terms, Dan, because I haven't heard the words yet. I haven't heard them.
That's right.
What's the word I'm looking for?
Starts with a P.
Starts with a P. Personalization, people. It's taking products and letting the customers personalize it, having on-screen, immediate display of their product with their personalization. This is where all the money's going to come from. I'm telling you right now, all the money's going to come in personalization.
It is surprisingly easy to sell people named Dwight stuff that has the word Dwight on it somewhere. Surprisingly easy, because people love the sound of their own name or the sound of their last name. It's probably easier to sell people whose last name is Gelowitz something. Right. If it says Gelowitz somewhere.
Absolutely.
Right?
Well, and with all of this, what we've found is that you can't just allow somebody, for example, let me find, so a little sneak peek of this is a leather gift set for a little wine kit. And you've got the ability to put somebody's name on it. And that's great. And trust me, this converts like wildfire. But the problem with this, and it's not even really a problem, I'm just saying there's more opportunity to be had by taking this design. There's a lot of companies out there now that do, obviously we all know Printify, we all know Printful. There's companies out there that do, jewelry with message cards. There's company out there that do mugs. And with those business models, you take static images and you target a niche with that. Mm-hmm. And so, you might be Bible scripture. It might be, 18-wheeler truck drivers. It might be people who ride motorcycles. You take a design and you cater it to them. And that's what the industry currently has. What we're allowing you to do is take that same concept that's already working for you, or that as an industry standard, it works. And we're adding the ability to throw personalization on it, which from articles and whatnot, people are willing to spend 20% more for a personalized product and wait twice as long for that personalized product, just because they understand, oh, this was made special just for me. Mm-hmm. And even though, this is a print on demand industry. Anytime you have a static t-shirt design, it was always made specifically for that one person, but it's the perception of it. And so the perception of, oh, it's got my name on it. Yes, that is worth more money to me. And I understand that they have to make this just for me.
And you know what else is neat? Something that we always noticed is that people, like we had a pretty decent, I don't know if I call it a return policy, but it's like, listen, we're not, you screwed up. You ordered the wrong size shirt or the wrong size shoe. We can't just give you your money back because there is not another, we made this for you. There's not another Dwight Gelowitz on a shoe.
Absolutely.
But we will let you replace it, at 50% off or whatever.
Yep.
And it just makes all of that stuff easier. Right.
Right. Well, and to be honest, and, I don't, our policy might change sometime in the future, but as of right now, if a merchant's not happy, or if the customer's not happy with what they got from the merchant, I refund it. Of course, there's people who can take advantage of the situation. Yeah. But as far as me as a company is concerned, I refund it because, you go off and sell 5 more things and I made that money back off of that refund. And, we're both happy. We're both working together, until somebody starts abusing the system, then, it's not really a problem. But as far as from the customer's perspective of getting a refund on an item, we really don't. I feel like everybody just understands. They understand that I got this thing with my name on it. I can't just give it back to you. And so again, it just goes back to the perception of things. That, you know, selling personalized products might actually cut down your customer support a good bit.
That's right. And I mean, people realize it's not like going into a gas station and seeing your name on a keychain, right? I mean, there's a lot of Johns out there. There's a lot of Sallys. There's a lot of Susans, whatever. You're not returning something that they can then turn around and sell again. We're not going to be selling a lot of Chico Pachicos, right? So you can't, if you're putting something on or a list of grandchildren's names that are very specific, right? Susan, Jack, James,
and to
Tommy,
that point,
you know, or whatever. When you're putting a group of names on that are specific to you, they're your grandchildren. You know, one, you're right. Time, they don't mind taking a little bit more time to get it, and two, they know, well, what are they going to do with it? Nobody else has that same group of grandkids' names, right?
Absolutely, and kind of on that note, one of our best Mother's Day product this year, which I say this year, this was actually our first Mother's Day, so cool for us. But we have a framed foam board product, and I'm not sure if this is showing the orientation.
Yeah, it is beautiful. Yeah,
but you know, the which while we're discussing, I'll go ahead and I'll pull this up on the website. But you know, the customer will see this exactly as it is, and so yeah, when the customer gets this, they pretty clearly understand that it would take a very special person to assume that they would get a refund on that product, because one, if they spell the name wrong, well, we show you, and when you click add to cart in V2, we're actually going to have you have looked at this and you agree that this is what you want. Even still, people make mistakes, but then we run into, well, do we want to hold up production for 2 days while we wait on the 0.1% of people that make a mistake, or do we just want to push it through? And so, obviously we want to keep the masses happy.
Yeah. So let's go through some of these products that you have that you just whipped up. I'm going to put you on big screen here.
All right.
Right. He was showing me some of this stuff. You're going to friggin' go crazy.
So, we're getting into these leather products now. Currently what's in our system is foam board, like what I just showed you there, as well as metal art. We've got some cutting boards, but we're going to be getting into more leather products, especially with this new design feature that we're launching. And so, for example, I've got bottle openers that, again, you would be able to create your own design, however, on both sides, even however you want to make that look. And just this morning, I whipped up a sample monogram style with Johnson.
It's so cool.
Sorry, what was that?
That is just so cool. And the design itself, it's not all that hard, right?
It's not.
With niche stuff, you got to come up with a design. I'm selling to grandmas and I want it to be, I got to have the perfect saying. It's like, that turns out you just need the guy's initial and then his name, and they go crazy over it.
Yeah. I mean, somebody, your name is your favorite word.
Yeah.
And that just, it is what it is. And so, there definitely is a very, but even with just doing somebody's name and their initial, you can get still into certain niches. Like, for example, I ran, so this is leather ornaments that we're going to be releasing as well. It's got a silver sheen to it. Disregard that. Ran it too long this morning. But it's got a silver sheen to it. And again, this targets a completely demographic than this does. And it's conceptually the same. It's somebody's initial, possibly somebody's name. And so those are definitely very solid products to launch. In the same way that we had the mom canvas sign, our top selling Father's Day product was the walnut keychain. And it's actually still one of our top selling product types. And when I say product type, I mean the walnut keychain is still moving very, very good volume. But for example, the dad with kids' names with little hearts between. See if I can get that to focus properly.
That's awesome.
Which
So that's made out of that's walnut.
yeah. And I mean, it's again, I wish I had better quality on this camera, but it's got depth to it. I mean, I could, I could catch the edge on that. It's not just printed on the surface type.
So what
situation.
is because now we didn't talk about this at all, and I don't know how much what the cost is on something like that, but that to me seems like a quality thing. Like how much does it cost versus how much can you sell it for?
Yeah, so our top selling merchant for Father's Day, which I don't feel guilty saying this because I'm the one who designed it, but this design was our top selling Father's Day keychain. And the price point on it was, I believe, $11 or $12. And he was selling it for $29.95 plus shipping. So when I say $11 or $12, that's all in, that's shipping included. And that's how it is for all of our products, is one flat rate. If you want to charge shipping, you can add, might decrease your conversions, might increase your profitability. I'll let you guys decide on that side of things. But we keep it real simple, flat rate style. So he was making 200% over cost, just phenomenal, and he was really crushing it. TikTok, for anybody who's who's not doing that yet, you need to be advertising on TikTok for sure.
Absolutely.
I won't be doing that, but
that's how you do it. It's how the kids do it.
So stop it. You're not a kid.
How dare you?
I'm going to run through a couple more. In total, there's like 15 new products that we're going to be dropping, but we've got.
What I love about these, my perception is like you're using leather, using wood, you're using metal. It all looks so it's just like a money thing, because it's like they're already perceived like they're going to be worth more. But then you add on personalization, which also has this higher perceived value because it is worth more.
Exactly. What is that? What is that?
This is a bottle opener. Opener that also functions as a coaster. And so, relative. I couldn't, that's me actually really putting pressure on it, and I can't bend this sucker. So it's not only does it look like it's got value, but when it gets to the customer, it feels like it's got value.
That is like a total redneck thing, isn't it? Totally a redneck thing. I need a coaster. That's but hey, put a bottle opener in it, man.
Hey, slap an American flag on it doesn't get more Alabama than that. So
this is what I need for my Mike's Hard Lemonades.
Yep, absolutely.
Understand, Dwight?
And then we also have like coffee koozies. Cool. For your cup. Yeah. Again, you can do both sides of these. Got the wallets, which I haven't decided yet. I might start with just as one design element, and then in the future make it to where you can actually do on like 3 or 4 faces.
Can you imagine that wall? Is there a better Father's Day gift?
No.
Like in all seriousness, all of this stuff.
You can slap your kids' names on it.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And then for the winos out there,
Candace,
gonna have these wine totes. And these wine totes, again, front, back, ton of opportunity there. And then what I think probably has the most potential of anything that I've got here with me today is the picture frame. The picture frame that can function just as a message card. It's and I believe the price point on this is going to end up being about $15. That, from what I'm seeing, would sell for about $34.95.
Wait a minute. So
of the wine
flash that. How do I get this comment up? Hold on, I'm going too crazy. I want to hold that up again because I want to see that frame. So that's leather. God, look how awesome. So it's not, just so you guys know, it's not printing. Like this is etched leather.
Yeah, I'm going to try to see if I can.
And how does it make it black? So it's not, so that ink is black, or it's not even ink, right? It's like,
I don't know if you can actually see the depth. If you look at the top of that H.
Oh yeah, for sure. You can see it.
Yeah, you can actually see that it's got, it is etched down into the leather. And yeah, I mean, that's etched black, which etching black is pretty easy. But then we also go through certain processes where we can etch gold, or as I had on the other product, etching in silver. Actually, I think you can kind of tell that it does have shine to it. I mean, it does
for sure.
actually look like silver, as does the gold. So very, very cool products that I'm very excited to launch with.
It's like, somebody just said, William said, it's a game changer. Guys, like, here's the thing. Dwight and I, smartest guys in the room, always just ask us. But this is literally how two idiots like us could sell so much stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, just flat out personalization works. The higher the perceived value just means you're going to make more money. Absolutely. And we could not do half of this stuff back when that's why we did t-shirts and mugs.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, to be honest, where I see people, the biggest opportunity here for people to really do well, it's one thing just to have a monogram with a name on it. That absolutely works. That's an evergreen thing. That will always work. But where you have to perform well in your ads. How do you perform well in your ads? You have to be niched down enough without niching down too far. And so the ability to have some kind of a bear monogram maybe, or to have a dancing ballerina with a name across her. I mean, there's really obviously there's the only limitation is your creativity, but that's why I'm excited to launch this feature, because there is so much opportunity that I would be drowning in design requests if I had to.
Well, so I want to share one of our best-selling things. Now, I'm not saying we can do this yet with my Easy Monogram, because right now, like, we're trying to integrate the whole personalization thing even into t-shirts and cups and all this kind of stuff. And then that is coming for sure.
And while you're looking at that, I see somebody asking if the leather items come in different colors. Every item that I've shown so far, except for the foam board and the walnut keychain, these are all the same leather material. So this is black leather. We've got the gold leather. We've got some keychains. We've got pink leather. It's really vibrant in person. This camera's not doing it justice. Black leather and the gray leather. Then we've got rawhide. And I mean, these are, I would say that, of course, I want to be a little bit careful of not going too crazy with, I think in total there's like 20 different color options that we can go with. I think initially I'm going to start with 5.
Yeah, because you don't want to, because you got to bring the inventory in to have it available so that these people can sell, and you don't want to overload yourself with inventory that will never sell, right?
Absolutely.
Start off small.
There's definitely that, but then there's also, from the customer's perspective, paralysis by analysis. Do I want rawhide or do I want dark brown? Like if things are too similar, then they're just going to get confused and ultimately not purchase.
Someone wants to see some metal products. How can you want to share? How can we, do you have anything done, or because metal products are bigger? Yeah. He's going to walk outside and pull like a sign off the side of his house. There you go.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let me go ahead and I'll do a screen share.
All right.
And
we'll take our,
I don't have any metal art product on me, unfortunately. But
okay,
I can tell you kind of what we've got in the catalog.
Okay, I'm going to add this. I'm going to take us off so we can just see.
So, I mean, we've got like 550 different metal art products out there. So, I'm not going to bore everybody by going through all of it, but that's it. Brad testing, that preview. And we can actually see what the product will look like in oh man, my internet service must be terrible. Oh, it's because it's live stream, right? Yeah. So Yeah, this is a accurate representation of what this product will end up looking like. Again, with this live stream, it's pretty laggy, but I think you all get the gist. And so, yeah, metal art has been a very steady mover for us. It's been a very good evergreen product. There's a lot of there's a lot of products out there that are made specific for certain holidays. I've found that metal art seems to be pretty independent of any one holiday. Of course, it depends on the design, but you wouldn't feel, yeah. So, anyways, yeah, there's hundreds of 550-ish things out there. I could say, for anybody who's interested in looking at the metal art, anything that's outdoorsy, sell it to outdoorsy people. That's a very prime market. So,
oh God dang it, this is exciting because it's just. I love it because it's higher. It's this whole perceived value is so much higher, and like you totally get yourself out of this, like, going for the cheap people. You know what I mean? Like, as people who are attracted to that are like, they know the value of it and it attracts them.
Yeah. Well, right? and even more so than that is, I mean, there's, I don't know an exact number, but there's got to be like 800,000 websites out there that are all selling t-shirts and mugs. And I'm trying to bring things to market that stand out, that people say, oh, I can actually buy this online. That's interesting.
I'll show you a little bit about marketing. We can answer some of these questions.
Mm-hmm.
So here's one of the tricks that we used quite a bit. We just have this ninja method that we use, because as much as somebody's favorite word is like their name, or if you can identify a certain characteristic, like being a grandma or whatever, or even getting the grandkid's name, stuff like that. There is, we sold a lot of stuff to grandmas, and that's just what grandmas love more than anything. They love them more than their own kids usually.
Right.
Because they screwed up their own kids, but the grandkids, they get a second whack at not screwing it up.
Right.
So what we would always do, we target grandmas on Facebook ads with a cool grandma design. And so, but we would do a ninja method because we'd also target another interest that these grandmas had. And for example, here is one of our best selling, where do I find it? Where is my window of, I cannot share my Photoshop file, Dwight. StreamYard just made it so I can't even share this.
Why?
It's just not an option.
What's your address? I'll send you a Computers for Dummy book.
Yeah, thanks. How do I do this?
Personalized
computers.
It'll have your name on it and everything. Yep.
Let me see if I can just export this quick as a ping and open it up into a Chrome window. That's easy.
Yeah. So some of the things are you shipping primarily U.S.? Are you doing any international? What's the plan?
Yeah, we're going to be right now. It is it's kind of a messy policy. Some of our merchants have sold some things to Canada, have sold some things to Australia and whatnot, and we always work with them in those cases, but we make it clear that we are a domestic service, we are a U.S. service. That being said, there's an exception to every rule. Every now and then, if it happens, we'll take care of an international order. But in Q4, we look to be fully, U.S. international, fully opened up. And we're currently shipping from 2 locations in the U.S. and hopefully we'll be a little bit more regionalized with 4 locations before the end of the year.
Very cool. So we want to clarify here as well, and that is that we're talking about 2 things. One is doing an integration to be able to sell the products from you. That's one. But the other is integrating the personalization technology that you've already developed, right, into Launch Cart so that it's seamless. You have Launch Cart, you'll have the personalization and the ability to source and sell your products.
And so this is actually going to be the personalization added to the source and sell marketplace. It'll be rendered in Launch Cart, but the source and sell marketplace is actually where the technology is going to be living.
Right.
But yeah, it will be a what we hope to be a very seamless, and of course there's always iterations. And my problem is I always want to hold things to my chest until I feel like it's perfect. But my standards are sometimes ridiculously high, and my dev team really hates me for that. And so there's always going to be iterations. We're always going to be making things better. The only thing I can ask is that you give us that feedback. Let us know.
Brad, listen, you will be far more successful if you act like me and Dwight. We go 100% all the time. Well, 50% of the time. We try to be 100% like our best.
Right.
Wait, now my screen is totally going black. Oh, are you sharing something?
That was me. That's me.
Is it working? Oh, I just Skyped you something because
I know I got it. I just gotta do something here. Hold on.
This is being recorded, everyone. You can watch the replay. It'll be,
and it's on live on the YouTube channel, so it'll always be there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm gonna crawl through these. So they will be in our they'll be in our catalog here in about a week and a half to 2 weeks. Looking at price points, I'm still trying to make sure that everything is up to snuff.
Can you see that?
Yeah, I'll let you take over.
Okay, so here's this is a design we've made so much money off of, not just this specific design. I'll kind of talk about it in a little bit. So remember, we would be selling to grandmas, so we target grandmas with our Facebook ads, right? But so all of these things, like grandma, sometimes grandkids call them Nana, Nina, Mima, Mumu, whatever. So the word grandma can be personalized. The names of the grandkids can be personalized. But why this design works so good is because the grandmas don't know what we're up to.
Yes.
Like we will target grandmas with just like a post that is like, kind of a comment below if you love your grandkids. And of course they're going to comment, and then we would send them a link that goes here, and there's some technology we'd use to actually pull some of the information up. This particular design, we wouldn't maybe do exactly this method, but the point is they think they're looking at a grandma thing, but we actually targeted grandmas who love Chicago Bears football. Right. So then by the time they end up at this page that they had no idea they were ever even clicking an ad, they end up at a page that says the only thing I love more than Chicago football is my grandkids and blah, blah, blah. They're like, holy cow, this is only for me.
Right.
Like, I mean, and it, the only thing I love more than my Great Dane is being, a chef.
Yeah.
Right. Like you can literally just do this kind of thing, but you're only marketing, like you're angling, you're just kind of taking one angle where they don't know what they're running into. Am I explaining that right?
Yeah, well, and this is exactly the point that I was trying to make earlier, is that of course you could just go with a here's a letter and here's your name, and possibly even a date and whatnot, but by niching down like what you did, it's much more affordable on your ads, and your conversion rate should also be going up as well. But on that note, and I do want to be very insistent that what you designed is fantastic. And it's fantastic because it goes after the Chicago Bears without using a trademarked Chicago Bears logo or copyrighted material and things of that nature. So I'll say in front of God and everybody, I've got full control over every merchant on the platform. And if somebody goes to do a trademarked or a licensed
It's
thing,
good. Yeah.
I am cutting your ass off. You are gone and you can never come back. Why? Because a friend of mine that has his own platform, some random Five Finger Death Punch quote from a song, very obscure.
Yeah.
He got sued for $2.5 million because somebody designed a thing, and we're shipping hundreds, if not thousands, of products every day. We're not eyeballing every single thing that comes through the door. And even though there's software out there to check for images against trademarks and whatnot, when it's an obscure piece of a quote from a song, those things, can slide through. And so, I'm just going to make it very, I'm not trying to get sued for a couple $1 million. I can't do that at this time. So,
Let us know when you can, because Dwight and I have other ideas.
Yeah. Just come over here and slip on something.
Maybe cutting it close, but
it's cutting it close, but
define Chicago football. Like do you think the Bears own Chicago football? Is there no minor league, high school league, junior, whatever, Chicago football? Like, but there's no confusion related to that.
But I love the fact that she asked the question in the first place, because what I'm going to say is, if you're questioning it, just don't do it.
Yeah. That's absolutely, if you think there's confusion, then possibly there is, but I don't believe there's confusion.
But so a good example,
and I agree with you, but I don't think there is a problem with that specific design. But as a good rule of thumb, if anybody's feeling uneasy about it, just don't do it.
But like something like this, just to give you an idea, we know Greg Reiter, the CEO of LaunchCart, is in hang gliding, and we also know that he's into hang gliding, and he's a grandpa.
Yep.
Right. The only thing I love more than hang gliding is being grandpa.
Yep.
If and you don't have to worry about any kind of copyright, anything like that. If you get that kind of,
absolutely,
it's like it's cheating.
Absolutely.
Because Greg would be forced to buy it.
Yep.
I mean, because it's like emotional blackmail. It's kind of cheating. That's how we did a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and you just have to be careful not to niche down too hard by saying the only thing I like more than hang gliding and eating cheeseburgers is being a grandpa.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
Yeah. But that's pouring over here.
It is pouring.
Oh yeah. The fire's been flickering, so hopefully we won't have a problem.
You're gonna have personalized umbrellas ever?
Hey, if I can figure it out, give me a week.
So, okay. We just wanted to give you the sneak peek. We'll answer any more questions you have, talk about whatever you want to talk about for a little bit. If you do have a Shopify store now, how do they do this? If you want to try it out yourself, how do they do it?
Yeah. So everything that I just showed is going to be in the catalog in a week and a half to 2 weeks from now. And V2 is going to be released 2 weeks from now. And so until then, obviously, we still got the metal art products. We've got some canvas products. We've got some keychain products. If you go to myeasymonogram.com, across the top, you'll see a link to take you to the Shopify App Store. Or if you just go into the Shopify App Store and you search for My Easy Monogram, that will, it takes about 5 minutes to set up. We're gotten pretty good at that part.
Yeah. And remember, if you don't have a Shopify store, don't go out and get one.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We're putting this integration into LaunchCart. That's why we're talking about it here today. Yeah. But if you do have a Shopify store and want to start selling this stuff on your Shopify store,
we're going to be integrated fully with LaunchCart here in about probably 3 to 4 weeks. So definitely looking forward to that.
So we wanted to give you a sneak peek because honestly, like, this will make your fourth quarter. Why don't you start thinking about it now?
Start thinking about it. Absolutely.
Yeah, I've got many folders all organized and categorized out. I'll go search in the internet for, I just go through, I'll Google a thought, and I just start saving things into folders. And then when the time comes, I normally would have back when I was designing everything myself, I'd have one day a week where I just went and I executed on all of those designs. And, to be honest, the design process for this, we're going to require that people know Adobe Illustrator and use Adobe Illustrator, just because it's, people will hit me up with, well, can I use this? Can I use that? And now I've got to sit here and do a week's worth of work to figure out if there's any if scenarios with some other software system. So, Adobe Illustrator is like $20 a month. And it's a very, very worthwhile software to have anyways. But, a design like this, that design took me probably about 7 or 8 minutes this morning. I mean, from start to finish. So, and I'm pretty seasoned at this. So I'd say somebody else maybe 15 to 20 minutes, but you can really, and what's better, I don't know if anybody caught it, but once you have it designed for one product, you've got it designed for other products as well. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel every single time. You can honestly use the same design and target different niches using the same design, just depending on what the product is, whether it's a keychain or a bottle opener or a picture frame. You can really use the same design and target different niches.
And Launchcard is all about increasing the average order value. If they're going to like that on a wallet, they're going to like it on a keychain. They're going to like it on So you start building up the lead product, an order bump. That you want fries with that, except fries are doing a matching keychain, and then all the way up to, and then when the print on demand stuff gets in there, then they got hoodies and shirts and mugs and all this stuff. So, and the people who, if you don't like Adobe Illustrator, I'm sure
it's not for everybody, right? It's not for everybody. If you're concerned about the technology and now, not whatever, don't do it. I mean, it's totally up to you. But if you want to take advantage of this technology and the options that are available, let's learn some new things.
Yeah, the only way we stay on top of our competition is to always iterate and make things easier, make things better. But this is V1. We are launching a new feature, a new functionality for the first time on our platform. Things that the rest of the market, the rest of the industry can't do. And so in doing so, like I said, instead of me holding things to my chest for too long, because I could say, we could have a total, in-app builder where you can design all your own things inside of the app, not use Adobe Illustrator, but you're just going to have to wait 6 months for that version of the software to come out. So if it's not for you now, then it might be for you in 6 months, but that's what it was going to be either way. We're just opening the door a little bit earlier for those who want to take that opportunity.
And the other thing, I'm making an assumption here, but you don't need Illustrator if you use existing designs. I mean, I'm probably going to be design packs out there that people will have.
Absolutely.
Yep.
No, that's completely accurate. Yeah. The only time you would have to use Illustrator is if you're going from the ground up, designing your own thing. And so, and also there's VAs that would do Illustrator work for nothing. I mean, $4 maybe. So, there's definitely opportunities.
You can come up with a design and whatever you use, go on Fiverr and say, fix this for me so it can blah, 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 whatever. I mean, I would not let any of that get in the way. I mean,
absolutely not.
Every time we've done personalization, maybe not every time, some products where I suppose, did better than others, but we just always killed it. So we'd never let this get in the way of making money.
Do you have any idea about delivery times and stuff like that, or have you thought about that on this?
Yeah, so these products, for our metal art, we hold a 7 to 10 business day lead time, because these gets nested, cut out of sheets of steel, ground powder coated, big industrial operation, big industrial equipment. These products are a lot lighter And when I say lighter, as a burden of manufacturing, these products are a lot lighter. And so we expect, especially during this time of the year, 3 to 5 business day lead time. We just got this whole setup operational about a month ago, and so we've refined the processes, and now we've got it down to about 3 to 5 business day lead time on all these products that you saw here today.
Wait, what did you say? How long?
3 to 5 business days. But hopefully here in the next, honestly, possibly by the time that we launch, we're going to be within 1 to 2 business day production time to be shipped, and then shipping time. Obviously, that fluctuates.
Dude, that's like not blowing smoke up your ass. That's insanely fast.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I'm a prototype design engineer. I'm very I designed automation systems and robotic automation systems. So I've got a very keen eye for speeding things up. And not to mention that, the company that I blew up in 2017, the fastest growing company in the state, we're shipping, we went from shipping 20 to 30 products a week to shipping 2,500 products a day about 3 months later. So yeah, we done it before. We'll do it again.
So here, wait, so I could use past designs I've created, correct? I mean, I'm assuming, well, I'll let you answer it, but I'm assuming if they can be converted over, these are like, let's not get too technical, but it's like SVG.
So,
right?
So I'll put it like this. If you were to design something, and you load those designs into the software, and then you go into your product page and you type in, the personalization or whatever, if it works, then it works. And if it works in that case, then we should be good, because what we are going to be producing is going to be a replica of what you see on the screen. So ultimately, I'm not sitting over your shoulder. I'm not going to know if you're using Adobe or if you're using Canva or if you're using Inkscape. But what I do know is that I know how Adobe outputs files. And if you're having issues and hitting up our customer support, wanting us to fix the problems and whatnot, what you're trying to do isn't supported. We developed this technology supported in a certain way. What you're trying to do is not supported, and we don't service that. And we have that situation arise every now and then with people selling on sales channels that we don't officially support, and then they get mad at us. It's like, well, we never said we could do that in the first place. I mean, like I said, we'll get there, but we have to start somewhere.
And like, because we do this all the time. We just, if we're trying something new, we'll just get a sample.
Absolutely.
I mean, because like, especially this stuff, right? Like Absolutely. If it's a cool wallet, I'm just going to try a design and just get a sample for me just because, well, how does this work? Right.
Absolutely.
I mean, just because I'd want to do that.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, a lot of people do that anyways. So they've got, media that they can make that UGC, that they can get that content to then go to TikTok with. So, I mean, I would definitely advise anybody, before you go too crazy, definitely order samples. I mean, check us, make sure that we're providing the service that you're happy with, and, and challenge me to do so, and make sure that the product is up to the standards that you're marketing it to. I've got a lot of pride in these products. I don't have any interest in selling something that I think is cheap. And so, yeah.
All right. People have been asking about like something like Shine-On. Does LaunchCard and My Easy Monogram work like Shine-On's platform? I mean, do they handle payments on our behalf, card and PayPal, or should we bring our own payment methods? So,
well, LaunchCard is your own website, your own e-commerce platform. Mm-hmm. So, it's not tied to one supplier or provider. Yeah. Like we're bringing My Easy Monogram in. We have Printful. We have Printify.
Well, I think what they were asking is,
do you have an app that
for the
works?
Payment processing side of things? So Shine-On Shine-On is actually built on Shopify. So when you're doing payment processing through Shine-On, it's actually Shopify doing the payment processing. And so in that same way, LaunchCart would be doing the payment processing like what Shopify is doing. And Greg's, there's a couple of options out there that Greg's working on, but I know that he's got some very exciting and different processing options than what you would typically see in the market. But I can't speak to it any more than that. I will say that My Easy Monogram is separate in that sense that, LaunchCart is the one who technically would be receiving the money from the customer as a payment processor.
Yeah.
So.
And that's that's how I want it. That's how we like it.
Oh, absolutely.
I want money, the money. Right? Just give me the money.
Absolutely.
And see, let's keep going here if we have any more questions, but I am so pumped up about this. And it's just, man.
Yeah, no, I am too. I think that, this is a force multiplier for our company, for My Easy Monogram. Yes, really gives the problem that we've had up to date is that I've been a bottleneck for everybody who's wanted to design their own thing and go after their own specific niche. And so now I'm out of the equation. If you can design it, you can go for it. And if you can't design it, you can hire somebody for $5 to design it for you. Rock and roll.
But like even something as simple as like the, just the initial, like the J Johnson.
Yep.
Right. Like that's not hard to do.
Right.
Right. I mean, it's really easy to do.
Yeah, it is very easy. I agree with you there. Of course you could always make it, replay is available.
The
replays will be in the Facebook groups and in YouTube on the YouTube
wherever you're
channel.
watching it now, just come back. Should be there.
It'll still be there.
Something that we didn't necessarily discuss is that in theory, the personalization options that we'll have available for you are technically endless. I mean, I'll go into a really extreme example and say that you wanted to do a farm design on here with 10 different locations. And in each of the locations, you could have a different animal, and that the customer would have 10 drop-down boxes to select 10 different animals for 10 different locations. Technically, you'd be able to do all that kind of stuff. And so I'm just kind of painting the picture that, you're not limited to just like select a letter and type in your name. You can have 3 lines of text, top text, middle text, bottom text with an animal off on the side. And, maybe the frame, like if you do like a floral design, like a wreath around a thing, they could change the design of the wreath. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity. So just want to get everybody's mind jogging.
So there's a question about the V2, the version 2 that you're coming out with. That it's going to be in both places, Shopify app and LaunchCart. Yeah.
Yep. V2 is us, and we function in both places.
Is there a cost based on how complicated the design is?
No. Great question though. But no, the only cost variation is the material used. And so on for example, between this product and this product, I got 2 in my hand there. Between these 2 products, this one is going to be more expensive because it's got that shiny, glossy silver, and it's just a more expensive material. But other than that, for these products, that's going to be, if there's a size variation or, material, based on size and material, if applicable, those are going to be the only constraints.
And theoretically, you could take that one design and put it like on a little bottle opener, or put it on, I don't know if this is, but again, a huge metal sign that you could put on the side of a building, because it's like SVG, right? It's like, not to get too technical, but it's like you can blow it up and it's not going to lose any quality.
Yeah, I mean, this was, so the quality is really more so in how small you go. And so, this design, if I was to make this design the size of my pinky nail, it's
It would
not
be hard to get that kind of detail
exactly
with the tools related to the embossing or the carving out.
exactly
Right?
because you're altering leather, and
Right.
even if you were to print it, I mean, printers can only get so so resolute. So there's definitely limitations to everything, but we're going to do our best to be very clear in what we state those recommendations to be.
Right. So now John here is thinking like a marketer. I
Love it.
when you start thinking like a marketer. So the idea is, will there be a way to have an order bump product appear with the customization they added to the initial product? And I believe that is in the plan for the integration, right?
It is in the plan, but it will not be this year. There's just simply not enough time to make it happen this year. But we have the technology, we have the ability. I already know exactly how we would accomplish it. We just simply don't have the manpower to do so yet.
Right on, because that's really important too.
Absolutely.
And there's probably always workarounds to actually make it happen.
Yeah, there definitely are. I mean, as far as somebody using Adobe versus something else, or somebody doing these after cart, upsell things, when I say we don't do this thing yet, that's not me saying don't try it. That's me saying don't get pissed off at me if it doesn't work right, because we never said we supported that thing in the first place. So you can try it on your own time, on your own dollar. Don't try to get my dev team wrapped up for 2 weeks on something, because one of the thousands of people out there, are trying to do something. So
we'll get his dev team on
so that we add it to the roadmap.
When me and Dwight try to do something stupid and then it works, and then we'll get his dev team.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You can count on us to do the dumb things first.
Hey, you got to be a little bit crazy to make it. So.
All right. So we've been going on for an hour. We just wanted to give you guys a sneak peek because it's pretty friggin' cool. You can tell we're pumped up about it just because this is personalization. It's where we made so much money, and we didn't even have the cool products. We just had stupid t-shirts and coffee mugs. But when you start adding like this higher perceived value, like wallets and wine kit bottle openers, and oh my god, it's just ridiculous.
And I expect us to, of what I showed here today, is it's a small tidbit of probably the 15 or 20 total products that we're going to be adding here in the next 2 or 3 weeks. But before the end of the year, I expect us to probably have 10 to 15 additional products on top of that. So sky's the limit. We're really just getting started.
All right.
Yeah.
So if you have Shopify, go look for the App Store, play around with it.
My Easy Monogram, and look forward to seeing it in launch cart. By fourth quarter. We're counting on you to get it in. Fourth quarter, we need to see the products in fourth quarter. Are you hearing me, Brad? Fourth quarter.
I'm trying to make it in a month. If you guys can keep out of my hair on everything else, I'll be able to focus and get it done.
Consider it done.
Don't.
There you go. Well, good deal. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Right on. Man, all right, guys. Listen, it's been fun. We're going to do this every time something cool happens with LaunchCart. We're here. We'll bring Brad back as soon as he's ready. And thanks for coming.
Rock and
roll,
see you
guys